If this episode resonated, please share it with another mum who might need it. Follow us on socials at Burnt Out Mummas.
Check out our journey and we will help you to reconnect with yourself again. Please subscribe and download to all our episodes. It helps us a ton and keeps this podcast going.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hello, we are Burnt Out Mummas.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Burnt Out Mummas. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hi, Roxy.
Hello, Roxy.
Love your name.
Oh, we love it. And we've just been saying how much we love your Marilyn behind you. It's amazing.
I got that from my friend's charity ball. It was a ball for Cure Russia because both of the kids have got that condition and they do it every year and there's always fantastic art. So check that out.
Can't wait to talk about that. I'm so excited to have you on. And some of you may recognise Roxy from television, but today's conversation goes far beyond acting. We're joined by Roxy Shahidi, an actress from Emmerdale for 16 years as the well-known Layla. And we were just talking about how you died on Emmerdale with a champagne flute.
Champagne flute to the lungs, babe. Died on the ice, dripping in sequins.
And I love the fact that you were dripping in sequins as well.
But literally, my boots were sequined, my trousers were sequined, my top was sequined, my jacket was sequined. Yeah, it was the way to go.
I literally love that. But now you're a yoga teacher as well. So you're a founder of Yoga Rocks and you're a passionate advocate for helping women reconnect with themselves, which is so amazing. And we're going to be talking about that today. Motherhood, burnout, wellbeing, confidence and reinvention, and what happens when life forces you to slow down. Who is Roxy today? We're so happy.
Who's Roxy? Oh, baby, depends what mood you catch me in. But I'm very much stepping into Roxy, the wellness advocate. You know, it's something that's always been a huge part of my life. So I started doing yoga when I stole my grandma's Barbara Cummer DVD back in the day. She used to wear like orange lycra and had like peroxide blonde hair, and she was great. And I did it first when I was like 13, I think. And that was my first introduction to yoga. And then about 12 years ago now, I did my yoga teacher training and I started sharing yoga. But I just had, when I launched the business originally, was like just before I got pregnant. And then I had my daughter and there was a lot of trauma around the birth. And then 8 months later, for financial reasons, I had to go back to work. And so this little pipe dream of sharing yoga with the ladies just had to take a back seat. So it's been ticking away for a long time. But when Layla hit the ice in those sequins and, you know, came to a demise, it was only a few weeks after I'd left the show that I thought, well, this is my opportunity to start to, or to really begin what I'd started 8 years before, which was Yoga Rocks. So the whole, you need to interject, guys, because I can literally just speak for 30 minutes, you know.
I love it, and it's so interesting. I love it.
Good. So the whole idea for me was like, I've always been into fitness. Not fitness as in like, I'll necessarily train super hard. I've only recently started going to the gym for the first time ever in my life, and I'm training with Pete, who's Mr. Yorkshire, came second in England. He's amazing. We'll talk about him later. But he's just a granddad now. Just literally turned a granddad the other day, and he's in such great shape. But I never really did gyms. I'd always done yoga, and for me, being on set sometimes for 12 hours a day, then coming home and being a mum, usually to a slightly messy house and a child that was then going to wake up in the night, and then you're going to have to get up and spend quality time with before you then have to leave first thing in the morning, go to work, feel guilty, remember your lines, try not to have a nervous breakdown, come back, start again. Then doing a little bit of yoga for me, even if it was only 10 minutes a day, I'd always aim for 30, but even if I just got 5 minutes breathing in and a 5-minute stretch, that was good enough, because it was about creating space to connect with me and breathe and reset. And so my maximum would always be 30, and that's what I'd aim for. So I might do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes here, but ideally I'd get to work 30 minutes early and have a little flow. And that's genuinely what kept me sane and kept me fit. It was the only exercise really that I ever did throughout that whole time. And when I left and I wanted to share yoga, I thought, well, there's loads of different ways of doing it. You can build courses, you can open a studio, you can do this, you can do that. And I thought, well, why not just share what's really worked for me, which is my daily practice. So that's kind of how the 6:30 a.m.s came about. So there's a library of stuff there that you can go and pick from. They're all pre-recorded on demand. But what really made it start to take off was these lives, because people would feel like they were part of something, like we were all doing it in real time. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got like a nice community. We've got a little WhatsApp group, and the women really encourage each other on there, you know, to like keep going, or they'll share personal things like, you know, if they've got something going on and there's a reason why they're not showing up that week. And then there's really like there's support from the group. So it's become a community, it's become a real live event every day. But I did it at 6:30 because sometimes when I'm acting, because you know I have done some other bits since leaving Emmerdale, you've got to start at 7 a.m. So I thought, well, I can always do the 6:30. But I've had so many mums message me and say, look, I can't in the morning. Like I need it to be after drop off.
Yes.
So that's why I'm launching the 9:30s. I'm going to pause there because I've definitely spoke for too long in one go.
No, we love it.
Oh,
love it. We love
no,
it.
9:30 is perfect because that's when I drop you're an early bird. I have to get the kids to school, be in a quiet space to have me time. It's not before they get up because they all come down and it's not relaxing. So I think that's really good that you're doing that. Yoga for all us burnt out mums out there
it's a lifesaver. Obviously, I feel that really grounds you. And Roxy, you sounded like you really needed that when you was doing all the acting and everything else. Quite intense with learning all scripts and things. So how did you do it with kids and learning scripts?
Well,
and then...
I've only got one, but you know what it's like. Is your life changes after that, you know, and your priorities just all shift. I think in terms of the line learning, I'm reasonably lucky that I can learn things quite quickly. So I would, you know, it would be in bed usually last thing at night where I'd have to read everything, and then again, you know, get out of makeup quickly, read it again, you know, and then as you come off set, if you're not straight on, you'd look at the next one again. So you would really just fit it in as you could, you know, throughout the day.
And you know what? Soaps are so like fast running that it is like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Obviously, I did like acting as well when I was younger, pre-kids. I'm actually going to get back into it again.
Good for you.
I'm dying to get back into it. However, I've got friends who are in the industry, and just this, one of my friends was on CBBC, and he was like, the turnaround is literally like so fast,
so quick.
Like, it's so crazy and like quite overwhelming sometimes. So I do completely get where you brought in the yoga, and it's so like amazing and inspirational how you've grown from there.
I think the thing is when you've sorry just to interject, I think the thing is that everyone's on such a tight schedule, and I think often what we'll do with say you've got a fitness goal or a wellness goal and you're like, right, I want to be able to do the plank, or I want to be able to take my dog for a walk without getting out of breath, or I just want to feel more energized in general or more positive, whatever it is. We suddenly create that distance between us and our goal, and it feels like you've got to have all of this extra time, all of this extra equipment, the luxury of money and this and that, and none of those things are going to appear in order for you to get to that destination. And that's why for me, more than anything, it's small amounts of consistency. That's what you need, a little often. And I think that's what creates true transformation, because if you say to yourself, right, I'm just going to do 10 minutes a day, that's it, 10 minutes a day, or I'm going to do 10 minutes every other day. Do something that you can really commit to, and then you can feel proud of yourself for showing up for you. And that's where it starts. I think too often, especially with the gym culture, people go to the gym, everyone's half naked, everyone's peacocking, there's this vibe, and it's so easy to feel like shit. Do you know what I mean? It really is. Have you got to beat me? Sorry, I've just realised. Do you have to beat me if I swear?
No.
Good. All right, fine. So, like I'm on morning television. But it is because there's this culture of comparison. There's this narrative in our heads that I'm not good enough. I'm not where I want to be. You know, my body will be okay when. And for me and yoga and the way I approach teaching, it is all about starting first and foremost with a sense of gratitude for this body in this moment. Do you know what I mean? For who you are right now, and to cultivate that sense of positivity so you can just journey with a bit of self-love. And it's that'll make it feel positive. So you want to show up the next day because do you know what? After your session, you felt proud of yourself, you felt more connected, you felt good in your own skin, rather than pushing yourself to go to the gym, get in there, feeling like, you know, by the time you leave. And I think that for me is such a big thing that holds people back. And I know for me often wasn't a nice voice in my own head.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, anyway.
I think it is important, and it does make yourself. So I've only just started taking up exercise properly since they've gone to school, because I just couldn't seem to find the time, and I really lost who I was. I'm just starting to become back who I was. Well, you're never the same, but just getting a part of me back a little bit. And we've got Mum recently, haven't we, to do a little bit of exercise.
I just signed my mum up. I was like, right, you're doing it. I emailed the lady. I was like, she's coming.
For the elderly.
It's just so good
afterwards
for your mental health, everything. And I've just started running again. I'm still in the trenches. I've only got a 9-month-old, so I'm in the trenches with sleep, everything. But yeah,
No one tells you how hard it is, though, right?
It's the unwritten rule.
Don't you think we kind of lie to the kids? Like, we're not really telling this younger generation. We're like, yeah, go and watch those romantic films, go on your sweet little days, try and find Mr. Right and build that family. And then they get there and you're like, yeah, it's awful, isn't it? I know, I told you. All you do is clean, got no time for you.
I remember me and my husband were like, why did we decide to do this again? I don't know why we just, obviously I love my little boy.
Of course.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
Wow.
like we are not getting much sleep, but we're still running the business, we're still working. I'm like, oh God, it just makes everything harder.
We were cleaning on Saturday night, and I said, when did our life get to we were cleaning on a Saturday night? I said, this is so depressing, like, I'm going to change this, and I want to entertain more. But you do make sacrifices, don't you? So it's not forever, it's a period of your life, and then you start to get bits of elements of you both back, don't you?
True.
Yeah. And can we ask, so how did, from you doing the 10 minutes a day, how did that extend into Yoga Rocks? Like, how did you think, like, you know what, I want to set this into like a business and something for a community of mums?
Well, it first started before I had my daughter about 8-9 years ago, because I wanted to share yoga. I was passionate about sharing yoga because I knew about the benefits that it had, for me. And more than anything, it's not just about developing tone and strength, which it does do. It's also about deepening your connection with yourself and finding a space and time to connect more with you and your body, get out of your head, get into your body and feel a greater sense of peace and well-being. And I couldn't teach regularly because my filming schedule was erratic, as in you'd never know when you're going to be in. So that's when I first came up with the concept of an online platform, but that was 8 years ago. And like I said, after having my daughter and returning to work, I didn't really have the time. So I just shared stuff on YouTube and what have you. But then after I left Emmerdale, it was, I think when you get to a certain age, like for me, in my 50s now, I have to really think about, what do I want the rest of my life to look like? Like, this is a new chapter for me in so many ways. And what do I really want? And for me, I do want a genuine sense of connection and contribution. And I feel, and I've seen with the ladies that I've been on this journey with so far, the positive impact like it's genuinely had on, not only the strength and their balance and all of that, but just on their emotional well-being. And that feels quite just very nice that you're doing something that's helping other people feel good. So that's a big driving force. And that sense of connection just came from the idea that, well, if I'm doing this remotely, how do I get everyone together? And I didn't know how it was going to work and if people were going to chat to each other. But now, for example, like we've got a little book club, we're doing our first film night at the end of the month where we all just watch a documentary in real time and then just chat about it. Do you know what I mean? So you see you're all...
Well, you've built a lovely community.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
so nice.
And also I wanted to build something that no matter what acting job came along, I could still be there for everyone. So that's why the 6:30s happened. So, and I can do it anywhere in the world. And also, as my little girl gets older, I mean, maybe I want to go and live in Spain. Maybe I don't want to be in England when I'm 60, and I can take it with me. It's something that's mine and is portable. Do you know what I mean? Rather than having to be in one space. And people can do it anywhere. If you're working in, Tokyo one week, or and I wanted it to be affordable as well. That's the other thing. So like it's 25 quid a month and I do 20 live classes a month. I'm actually going to be doing 40 live classes a month. But if you just do one block, like if you're just the 6:30, you get 20 lives. It's like £1 a class. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's accessible for everyone, and that was also important for me. Because I think, yeah, that's just
I
nice.
think that's great, and it's so nice that mums are listening to this, because I'm hoping that mums, or women out there that are really looking for something, can obviously find something. And after talking to you today, you've got such a lovely aura, energy.
Our energy clicked, didn't
Yeah,
it, when we had a poll?
and and it's, do you know what, I hope people do your classes and stuff, because like you said, it's very accessible. They can come on and off whenever they like. And me and Paisley ourselves are very spiritual. We've like always, we do yoga retreats when we can, and it's just fitting it into life. So it's
just
a really nice
reconnecting with you again. And
we talk about this a lot on the podcast, reconnecting with yourself, and actually you talking like what you're doing is been really nice to hear, because we have a lot of like mums come from corporate and then they set up their own thing. Yours has been a little bit different, obviously coming from television, which we can probably connect to corporate because it is so full on, and then doing your own thing. But it feels like you're finding like your sole purpose, which is so lovely to hear.
No, I genuinely feel like I am. I don't feel, I'm not drained by it in any way, if that makes sense. Like, I do get confused with the technical side of it sometimes, and I do feel overwhelmed with like the marketing side of it, because I don't really know how to do that. And I know there's probably, if I was a different person, if I'd come from the world of marketing, I'd probably be able to elevate my business at a speed that I couldn't keep up with. Whereas I'm literally like clueless, going like, all right, well, I'll just pop on Instagram and let everyone know I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? And then post the wrong link. And then I'm like, sorry, that was wrong. And, just kind of hoping it all works out.
I love that though about Instagram, and it's like the same with our podcast. We've had to learn as we've been going along, and it's been quite raw.
And it is overwhelming. Like, we do have someone to do our editing, because we just, as as mums, we just literally could not do it. We don't have the time.
We spent a whole day doing it.
We did like one podcast once, and it took us like hours and hours, and we was like, no, we can't do this.
It's going to burn us out even more.
Yeah, no, exactly. It is really hard.
Why do you think mums are so burnt out and running on empty?
Because dads don't do enough.
Love that.
Yes, it's very true.
It's still true. Even though I've just watched someone else's podcast actually, and the woman on there was saying that the average woman, once she gets married, before children, her housework load increases by 7 hours a week. And his goes down, obviously. There's also statistics like married women die sooner, married men live longer. I can go on, but I'm just saying, I do think women, we are natural caregivers, especially before you hit menopause and perimenopause. That estrogen makes you this big giver. We love, so we care, so we do. And we just put ourselves at the bottom of the list. And I think men, I'm not saying they're bad, like even the nicest guys in the world, I think they are raised as boys to be slightly more comfortable with receiving, whereas we're raised to be more like, you're not just going to sit there, are you? You're not going to help me out, like from our mums. And we've always had to muck in. And I think it's hormonal, I think it's cultural, and I think that's just how we are. And so then on top of that, you put an entire human being whose life is dependent on you, and you become the primary nurturer, because that baby's come out of your body, that baby feeds from you, or you feed it, and you've got this maternal bond that is indescribable. You go above and beyond at all times to prioritize them. So you're not even on the list anymore. Do you know what I mean? But you've somehow got to hold it together, otherwise everything falls apart. So that's just my thoughts.
I think you said it really well, actually.
It's like, do you know what? It's like what every woman's thinking, but you just like hit the nail on the head.
Bashing today.
Well, I think it's why. No, it's not, because they could do more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They just don't. So I just think there's that old-fashioned thing though of like when people say, "Oh no, everyone's going to hate me when I say this," but I just think generally it's still a thing. Statistically, it's still a thing. I'm not saying anything that isn't true, and I do love men. I've got like my best friend's a boy. Do you know what I mean? Like some of my favorite people in the world are boys. I'm just talking in general. Still within our society, there is still a great imbalance, and that's not always to say that we don't want that. I think what's hard for women in this day and age is we have to be all things. We have to be, you know, we're wives, we're mothers, and we're workers. And so I think there's this additional load that's been put on top of the load that was already there. Do you know what I mean? And we don't have an incredibly forgiving workplace that goes, oh, you're a new mum. Well, we're going to make the next 5 years flexible. And then you can jump back in when you're ready. It's like, no, you've got to go back. You've got to fight to keep your place at work. And then everything else on top. So I think it's really hard I think it's definitely harder for women. And, you know, I was saying it to be comic somewhat, just saying, well, because men don't do enough. But I also think there's truth to that. The load is unevenly distributed. I can't remember what else I was going to say, but
we had actually a podcast a couple of weeks ago actually, and I feel like what you're saying can resonate even within job roles as well, because there is that thing of, you know, not allowing mums to have enough maternity leave and not giving them that, you know, time with their babies. It's, you know, and it's why literally everybody we've had on our podcast has left their corporate when they've had a baby, because there is no
flexibility. But I also think there's an injustice towards men there as well, because men just don't get any maternity. So they can't show up for their partner and they can't show up for their child because in the same way, because they only get, what is it, 2 weeks, like 14 days?
Yeah.
Like, and they should have, go on, sorry.
I feel like we all need to stand, us three women, and go to Parliament on this one and be like,
it's ridiculous. Like, it is ridiculous. And I know someone who had a second child, is in a high-powered job, and literally just didn't have any maternity, ended up working almost full-time from home from day dot. Like, was in labour doing calls. Like, literally no word of a lie. It's amazing what we're capable of, but I do think we are pushed to the limit. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and then that's what leads to burnout. And I mean, I think AI for us mums, robots, you know, the vacuum robots, anything. I feel like we're in the 70s, you know, when someone gets their first washing machine, anything like that that can save us a load of time, like doing online workouts.
Yes.
You know, amazing. It just helps us out so much. And also, when we go through menopause and premenopause, is it the progesterone? One of them drops, doesn't it? And that's when you don't want to give anymore. Is that right?
It's estrogen, mate. Estrogen drops, and I think. Well, I did a podcast called House of Hormones, which is really fun. Check it out. But it's your estrogen that drops, and I think all of them drop to some degree. But it's your estrogen that kind of creates that biggest shift from being I'm the giver to a moment that goes, what about me? And suddenly you do this crazy thing where you just stop pulling yourself up a little bit closer to the top of the list. Do you know what I mean? And it is a real thing. It's a real thing that happens.
And what's
sure
leading that on to a question that I've got, what's something, as you've got older and wiser, that you've stopped apologising for?
I've stopped apologising for, I think, being dissatisfied with anything, really. I think I am a natural peacekeeper in general. I'm someone who will always try and make the best, you know, whether it's an event, whether it's a friendship group, whether it's a relationship. And if something wasn't quite, if I wasn't quite comfortable, something wasn't quite working for me, but it was just me, I'd just suck it up. Do you know what I mean? For the greater good. Just let's keep things moving. And I think as I've got older, I've started to, I'm a great advocate for friends and people and my child. But I think as I've got older, I've started to be more of an advocate for myself.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like I've started to show up more as a friend for me.
Yeah.
and almost like, this is going to sound so cheesy, but start to harness my own power, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like as women, we give it away. We give it to our children to raise them. We give it, you know, to our partners to support them. We give it to our friends to cheerlead them on. And often we are left just feeling depleted and also with quite a negative internal voice about stuff, about ourselves, about what we're achieving, about what we're doing. And so I think as I've got a little bit older, I've just started to show up a little bit more as a friend to me, whether that's been a bit more outspoken about what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with, whether it's like cheering myself on instead of tearing myself down, whether it's just as simple as putting something on Instagram and that voice goes, oh my God, that was so cringe. People are, and just being like, do you know what, mate? I'm trying. Shut up. Do you know what I mean? And just being a bit kinder, I think, to me.
Yeah,
Jesus, you better not ask me any more questions. We'll be here all day. It's already
no,
20 past
don't.
4.
No, but it's so interesting, and we can completely relate because I said to Paisley, oh my God, like, so literally after I had a baby, I don't know what it is. When you have a baby, you're like, and I had this conversation with my friend the other day. I was like, it actually gives you this massive power force as a woman to like succeed, to go out and get your dreams, everything, because you're like, I want to do what I can for my child, and it does give you that. And oh my God, I have to laugh when you said that because I like posted some videos of me doing comedy acting, which I love because, and I had a pause on acting when I had my little girl. And obviously, you know, as a dancer, performer, obviously, Roxy, you can probably relate. Like, it never goes from you. Like, you probably still feel in a class of yoga, you have to still perform, like when I teach a class. But I posted some comedy videos and I was literally inside my head, oh God, what have you done? What have you done? Like, I was like, why have I done this? But I cringed myself out about it. I was like,
Did you leave them up?
they're left up. And I've
Good
just,
for you. I'm glad you left them up. Good for
yeah.
you.
But
Because
it's,
at the end of the day, if anyone's going to say anything negative, that's just their own inner greyness coming out. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you're a mum, you're a creative, you're sharing something. If you think it's funny, laugh along. If you don't, just keep scrolling, and that's also okay. Do you know what I mean? And I'm exactly, the only reason why I'm saying that is because that's what I'm trying to say to myself. Because, you know, going from doing a certain thing for so long and people knowing you as a certain thing, and then you're showing up going, hey guys, this is what I do. I teach yoga. I'm really excited. And you could just go, oh, people are going to think, oh, who does she think she is now? Or, oh, because you're not getting an acting job, or what's she doing this for? And you just think, I'm doing it just in case you fancy joining me for a yoga class and having a nice time.
I love it. It's more about that, really. It's more for that because I feel that you, with your whole career and stuff, yoga really did help you.
Oh my God, it helped me after. So it's helped me so many times in my life. Like, I'm genuinely saying this and I mean this wholeheartedly. And I'm not just saying this to be like, oh, here's my tragic story connected to my business, buy into my brand, which everyone does nowadays. It's like apparently the key to marketing. But I'm not saying it because of that, although it is tragic. So after my daughter's birth, she was really premature. We were in the hospital for weeks. And I felt such an overwhelming sense of guilt and shame that had happened. I felt like my body had failed. I felt like it was on some level my fault. And I think now looking back, I must have been having some sort of like a bit of, you know, postnatal depression or just in shock about the situation. And a lot of women apparently do blame themselves when anything ever goes wrong to do with pregnancy. And so it's quite a normal thing. But I didn't know that at the time because only people in my group had only just started having babies. So I didn't share it with anyone, this sense of shame, this sense of guilt. And I genuinely felt like the weight of the only word I can use to describe it would be like a blanket of depression. Like, some mornings I would just feel like it had just sit on me so heavy that I genuinely thought, if I don't move now, if I don't get out of bed now, if I don't do something right now, it's going to swallow me. Does that make sense? And so literally I would get out of the mat, get out of the bed, and I'd left my mat at the bottom, and I would set my timer just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I would move and breathe, move and breathe, move and breathe, move and breathe. And you know what? It fucking saved me. It brought me home to myself. Not instantly, not like, oh, that day I'm fine now, but that became just a space to like Tony Robbins always says, I don't know if you know Tony Robbins, but he said to change your emotions, you've got to change your physicality. That's the first thing. Change your physicality. You're not going to think your way out of pain or depression. You're not going to, because you're already on that track. You need to shift it. And so for me, and I don't care, it might have been a run for some people. It might have been putting your trainers on and jogging around the block. For someone else, it might be lifting up some weights. Whatever it is, just move. And it helps you move through it. And that is just one example of how yoga has really helped me at a time when I felt untethered and, you know, a bit lost.
I don't think you can explain to anybody how you feel when you've just had a baby, and like, you know, and also even if we've just actually had a charity on literally talking about premature babies that they're raising money for, and it's such like that first bit of motherhood. I even nearly got swallowed up as well, and I feel like you just go through it. And for me, I didn't want to go out the house like for the first 6 weeks, and my husband was like, you have to do that school run, Isla. I can't do it. I can't face anyone. I can't, just my whole mental load. And the day I did it, I was shaking when I come out of the house. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was getting a bit of anxiety, but then when I did it, I was like, it's done. It's done. I've done it. I've got through that barrier now. And I think that's a thing that, you know, talking about yoga and doing something for yourself out there, it takes you away from your mind. And like you said, that physical part of just going, right, I'm physically going to do
Getting out of your head and into your body.
I love
because
that.
in our head is all the stories, it's all the fear, it's all the anxiety, but actually in this moment we're safe, we're okay. And I think your body helps you access that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I even researched like on AI. I was like, why am I feeling like this? And actually, one of the things AI said, and like I'm not an advocate for AI, like it helps us massively in some ways, but
massively,
it does have its downsides. However, it said, say to yourself, I'm safe, I'm well.
Yeah.
You know, and actually saying that and then physically doing it is like amazing. So hopefully ladies out there who want to try yoga or want to try some self-healing, that they can actually find you. So that
so it's can we put like a link up or something? Yogarocks.uk, and what I always have is 7 days free, so you don't have that anxiety of like, what about, you know, you don't have to, you know, you can just try it basically and see what you think. And I've got next month free, completely free, because I'm launching the 930s. So if that speaks to any of your mums that are like, okay, let me give it a go. And like I said earlier, just be kind to yourself. I said this to my sister actually, because my sister, bless her, she signed up the other day. I was like, why have you signed up? I would have just let you join, bless you. But she did the first class and she was like, I'm not fit enough, I can't do it. And I was like, no, even if you just do your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you turn it off and you sit and breathe, that's massive. And then the next week, maybe you'll do 15 minutes. That's huge. You don't have to achieve anything for anyone else. This is your body. This is your practice. You do what you feel comfortable with and you celebrate yourself. That's amazing. I've got some women in the group who run marathons, and I've got some women who've literally never exercised in their life, and they find, because I obviously always give options in the class, they find what works for them. Do you know what I mean? So just give it a go, see what you think. Have a nice time. Just have a nice time. Be nice to yourself.
It's amazing. And where can people find you on Instagram?
So Instagram, yogarocks.uk, and I'm Roxy Shahidi. So my main handle's Roxy Shahidi, but all my yoga stuff's yogarocks.uk. You can go online to find the website, which we are turning into an app at some point, but at the moment it's a website. It's Yoga Rocks.
We'll put it in all our socials and we're tagging
Thank you. It's been so nice chatting to you, ladies.
Oh my God, so lovely. And Roxy, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate your time. It's been really nice. You guys are really good. Well done, you guys, for doing this.
Thank you. And also, thank you for reminding women out there, you know, to find themselves, and, you know, it's about thinking of yourself first. And like you
just
said,
being kinder to yourself. Like, I feel like as women, we think everyone that we love is deserving of our love, but we're not.
Yeah, and I love that. I think that's a really nice thing to finish on.
Like, how often do we speak to ourselves like we would speak to our best friend? often if you listen to the way we speak to ourselves, you would not be friends with that person. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that inner horrible sound in your head.
A little evil inner you piping up. Do you know what I mean? And actually, do you know what? Let's just be bloody nice to ourselves. We're working our asses off. We're doing our best. Let's just be nice to ourselves, you know? Look at this guy who's here. Look at him. Can you see him?
Here, he's so cute. Oh, look at
Oh,
him.
he's all cosy.
Oh,
So
he's
cute. He loves himself, I tell you that.
love it,
Exactly.
love it.
Oh.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you so
amazing.
much. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you. And
All right,
for
lots
all
of
the
love.
listeners out there who are listening to the podcast today, if this resonates with you, please share it with a friend or a mum. And thank you, Roxy, for coming on today. And I really hope she's inspired a lot of you. And I can't wait to try your yoga. We're very excited. Really. And don't forget to download the podcast. We're in lots of countries now. So get listening, get sharing, and we can't wait to see all your journeys. Thanks, guys. Bye. If you're loving the show, don't forget to download our latest episodes. It helps us a ton by boosting the show and making sure more people find us.
Plus, you can listen anytime, anywhere, even offline.
And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a new drop.
Want even more behind the scenes content? Follow us on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok at Burnt Out Mummas, one word, for exclusive clips, updates and fun extras.
Hit that follow button, send us a message and let's keep the Burnt Out Mummas community going.